Okay, I'm going to try this again. I've got it in movie format, and let's see what that does. This is a 1968 Shelby GT 500kr car, and as I went over before, there's the fog lights switches in, the convertible top light switches in, the ignition switch is in, the headlight switch is in, the parking brake has been rebuilt, all new parking brake cables, the ashtray is in. I still got the glove box, it's painted and ready to go in. The dash has been painted, the gauge cluster is here, the air conditioning vents are all been cleaned up and ready to go in. So the dash could be pretty much completed other than doing the heater box, and I haven't rebuilt the heater box yet. That needs to be done. It's got all new brakes, suspension, both front and rear. The next step is obviously to try to fit the engine. Here's the rear brakes. It's got new 9-inch rear in it, Coney shocks, upgraded leaf springs, new fuel line. Everything has been all redone. It's got a rear sway bar. I still got to finish installing that, but I can't do that until the rear shocks or the rear coil springs are under load to get that set in its proper location. So underneath, the car has been fully detailed. It's all red oxide aluminum, or red oxide primer all the way down the body. It's all clean and scraped, and so everything is pretty much new underneath here. New Coney shocks, as I said. So this took a long time to do, I'll tell you that, and it came out pretty good. As you can see, it's got new emergency brake cables, the crossover pan there for the convertible has been redone. It's got new 5 leaf spring shocks. Just give it a little better stability for the back of the car, and got new 11-inch brake drums, both sides. All new brake lines. Let's see if I get the light in here. All new brake lines. Over there as well. Up there, it's got new spring perches. These cars, that bracket there, that's basically for shipping, and they shouldn't. When they give them at the dealership, they're supposed to take that bracket off. That's only for shipping purposes, hold downs. But those are handy to have if you're towing a trailer in the car and you need to tie down. I mean, that's where you want to be on, is the original tie downs. So that's all been cleaned up. I still have to do the final tightening of the suspension once the car gets back under the suspension of the axles, and so it's coming along. I haven't filmed much, but you can see it's, I mean, this isn't perfect. I mean, it's a lot better than most cars that are done. I mean, this isn't really going to be a show car, but I wanted to try to do it to some reasonable amount of level of restoration, so that it definitely shows well if somebody is looking at it. So that's underneath the car. Here's the brakes. The brakes are both front. These are the 11-inch brake setup. These are small axle, small bearing 9-inch rear. And I had a problem with that when I ordered these. I inadvertently ordered it with the wrong bearing size, so fortunately I was able to exchange that, and of course it costs something to do that, but so I got that. And then on the other side it's the same. That's with the drum on it. Let's take the drum off real quick and you can see. Same deal. That light's not very good for it. You can see there that everything is all done. I still got body work to do and clean these fender wells up, and I put the grommet on there, the bum stops on, and these are multi brake shoes for different patterns. And I still got to work on this door gap. This is probably the worst door gap of them, and I don't know how I'm going to fix that yet. I might just add some to the door to get that stop to be better. I don't know. The dash has been painted. Brake spindles up front are in, all new. Everything's new. If you're gonna do it, you might as well just start new. Got a lot of Shelby parts in it. Got a new rear, or not a rear, but a steering box. Got new brake, drum, master cylinder. Had to get a different proportioning valve for disc brake, front disc brakes, because this car came with power brakes, but they were all drum brakes. So I had to go back and get a proportioning valve to get it set up for the new front disc brakes. And of course the disc brakes actually came off of the 68 Thunderbird, and so those are the heavy duty. They're not 4-piston calipers, but they're the heavy duty. These are, you know, heavy duty for their 15-inch disc. So it's gonna have to use a 15-inch rim, which the Shelby rims are. So, and I don't know if I showed you that the horns have been installed. The front, I put the radiator in it. I got the Shelby hood pin brackets in. I still got to put those Dizet springs on. Haven't done that yet. That's a 3-row radiator which is supposed to be for a 429 car or a 428 car, but you know, so we get the 429 car, so that should be okay. Fuel lines in, 3/4 or 3/8 fuel line. The brake lines are all run. So I got the shocks for the front, just haven't put them in yet. Those are the Coney shocks as well. So they should go in no problem. And that's pretty much it for this episode. The next thing to do, as I said, is to try to get that engine installed. And I might mess around today to try to see if I can make a template to see how different the motor mounts are going to be, just to get an idea where it needs to be. So everything has been done on the engine now. It's still waiting on the carburetor. Haven't got that back yet, but I have put new oil in it, pumped it through. It's got new everything, new water pump, new seals, new timing chain, new thermostat, new oil pump, new fuel pump. So it should be in good shape to go. And it's just a matter of I got to figure out these motor mounts here to see what location they're in, and because of that pan is in the way, you can't get to that to see what that is. So I need to make some sort of jig to see how close those will line up with the existing holes. Spark plugs are in. I haven't got spark plug wires yet. The fan's been cleaned up. I got a new fan clutch for it. So it's also got a new distributor. Distributor's new. New bypass hose. It's also got new freeze plugs in it, or cast plugs, depending upon who you talk to. It's got a new pressure gauge. When it was running, I noticed that was leaking, so I got a new pressure gauge for it, oil pressure gauge for it. New wire harness, so this is ready to go. So the stovepipe, that's original and that's in really good shape. So I put that back in there. We'll run that. So it's on top dead center right now. That's top dead center. And so we have plenty of throw on the distributor to do that. So we're in pretty good shape there. So now it's just a matter of seeing if I can make a jig up to see how far off, or if I'm off on the motor mounts to get it installed. Hopefully it'll drop right in, but you know, we don't know until we don't know. So anyhow, told you about the bumperettes. Also had to Shelby's, when they ran their lights ran through the back because you wanted it closed off, and they had like a 1-inch hole, and the ones I saw, they didn't have grommets or anything in there. So when I drilled these holes, I put these rubber grommets in on both sides to protect the wires from chafing. And I don't think water will run in there, but I had to do something to protect that. And the rear valance is in great shape now. I've got that all straightened out. So the next big step is basically going to be just the body work to, I mean, the body's okay, but you know, it's all new sheet metal and everything, but it still has to be all sanded, cleaned, and prepped for paint. And that's the next question is, you know, who's going to paint it? Because I just don't know if I have that ability to do it to the satisfaction that it needs to be done. You put all this money into it and work into it, and you certainly want it to be the best it can be. So anyhow, it's come along well. It's come along well. I mean, it's been, I guess, over a year now since we've had it, and it's just a matter of, like, you know, cleaning stuff up like that. It's all gunked up. I still have to get the paint off of these areas, and, you know, try to get all the dust off, and that's going to be the biggest problem, is the dust in this area. So anyhow, that's it for, I believe this is part 9, part 10, I don't know. I think this is the longest I've ever recorded, and that is actually hasn't cut out on me yet. So I got one little issue here with the shift hole there. That one on the left hand side there, there's a bolt in there that they put a regular threaded sheet metal screw in there, and it's frozen.